Good evening. Thousands of university lecturers from across the south joined the biggest national strike in the history of higher education today. There were picket lines in Southampton, Portsmouth, Chichester, Brighton, Bournemouth and in Winchester.
Lecturers claim their pay and pensions have been cut dramatically, with the workload increasing to unacceptable levels. Many students were backing the strikes and joined the rallies despite the disruption to their education. Today was the first of 3 strikes, as Stacey Poole now reports.
Their message is very clear. They are not going to accept the cuts to pay and pensions.
We've got increasing workloads that are out of control. We've got declining pay relative to inflation. We've had enormous cuts to our pension. And as well as that, we've got equality pay gaps.
The gender pay gap is one issue, but the disparity in salaries offered to minority groups is also a major problem.
In terms of gender, there's a 16% pay gap, and in terms of ethnicity, there's about a 19% pay gap. So who knows what that means for me, who's a female member of staff who's also from an ethnic minority. It makes us feel undervalued.
Short-term and 0 hours contracts are also another major stumbling block. Lecturers feel they deserve to be able to plan their future. The banner sends a strong message. Do you really have nowhere to live next year?
I don't know where I'm going to be. I'm on a 9-month contract, which puts me in the same boat as 90,000 university workers across the sector who are on insecure university contracts, and these include 0 hours contracts. The problem with universities at the minute is that they're being run on a business model and they're paying us as little as they can. They need to start running these universities as a place of learning and not just as a place that will line the pockets of the people at the top.
Unions claim that pay has been cut significantly in real terms, with pensions dropping by 35%.
We often come into institutions fully formed and quite mature at the age of 35, so the time in which we have to accrue our pensions is limited. It's now the case that an academic at the end of retirement who comes in at this point is probably going to get a pension which is half that what a school teacher would receive.
But these next 3 days of action will affect 2.5 million students, disrupting their education. But the majority are backing them.
Our staff sacrifice tremendously for us, and we can see that. We can see how hard our lecturers are working to give us the education that they feel we deserve. But they're not able to do that because they're overworked, then they're not receiving the funding that's necessary to give us that education.
I don't mind giving up a couple of days of my education in order for these lecturers who teach me so much to get what they deserve.
Locally, universities have said that pay and pensions are decided at a national level, and they hope the situation can be resolved quickly without too much disruption to education. Stacey Poole, ITV News in Southampton.